ourselves to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. And so we pray, we acknowledge and we are grateful, Lord, that it is by the will and consent of the people that our leaders enjoy this godly ministry. And so we ask wisdom, good health, prudence, and vision for the leaders of this city. Give our mayor and every member of this council and those who assist them the deep awareness of the power and privilege they are entrusted with to serve the common good, but especially to be mindful of the least among us. But we also implore you, O gracious Father, to grant to us, the citizens of this city, a deep awareness of the sacred duties of citizenship. Help us to see each other as neighbors, each one of us worthy of life and the pursuit of happiness. Remove, Lord, the scourge of violence that almost daily claims the lives of too many of us. Help each of us, Lord, in whatever capacity and roles we have, to work together with each other and our elected and appointed leaders to make of this earthly city something that more closely resembles the heavenly city that so many of us say we aspire to. In all the diversity of our opinions and experiences, give us common goals and respectful communication as we all remember the sacred duties of those governed and those who govern. With grateful hearts and expectant hearts, we pray that all the believers and all people of goodwill say amen.
Amen. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we get started with the approval of the minutes, I want to let the council know and the citizens of Montgomery to keep our President Charles Jim Wright and Bradley Line in your prayers. They're going through a little illness right now, so I want you to pray for them, keep them in your prayers. Thank you. All right. Need a motion to approve of the minutes for the work session on May the 18th.
Move to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Approve for the regular meeting May the 18th, council minutes.
Move to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We'll keep this brief. We will not be giving a financial summary of this meeting. We'll have that ready for the next meeting. So I will jump right into some of the good things we want to point out that are happening in our community and some of the leaders and members of our community who are helping them take place, or really making them take place. I want to start by honoring someone that we mentioned at the last meeting. She was unable to be here, but that is Ms. Felicia Pickett. And Felicia is a security officer with the Transit Management of Montgomery, and she went above and beyond the call of duty by helping to save a life. And she was put into the right place at the right time, and this timing meant that she was able to talk a resident out of committing suicide. And mental illness is back in the spotlight again this week with the world's most famous and highest paid female athlete, Naomi Osaka, speaking to issues around anxiety and depression. And when we think about anxiety and depression, often that leads people to take even more drastic action. And we want to thank Felicia, we want to thank Ms. Pickett for what she did by helping to save the life and talking this resident out of committing suicide. And thanks to her calm and reassuring presence, that resident is still with their family today. So she was not able to be with us last time, so I'm going to ask if she will please come up and take a picture with the council so we can recognize her and thank her publicly for going above and beyond the call of duty. Come on, Ms. Pickett. Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Pickett, for doing what you did. Now I'm going to move on. I'm going to ask Spire Representative Jeff Wilcox to present the Silver Shovel Award to the City of Montgomery. We're one of only 2 Alabama cities to receive this distinction, and this award recognizes cities who adhere to safety. It's a reflection of our team and those in the field who are working hard on behalf of our residents, and they're doing it the right way, and they're doing it safely. This is a recognition of our Public Works Department completing over 97 excavation projects in 2020 without any damage to underground natural gas facilities. So at this time, Mr. Wilcox, will please come on up to the front. Thank you.
It's nice to be here today. My name is Jeff Wilcox. I'm the area manager for Spire and the Right-of-Way Department. I want to thank Mayor Reed and you, the council members, for your time today. Just a brief overview. Spire has a commitment, a very strong core value to safety. We take it very seriously, and one of these initiatives moving forward is this Silver Shovel Award. So to tell you a little bit about that, you guys had reported 97 calls. 97 811 calls, in which there were 0 at-fault damages. So your Public Works Department is doing a wonderful job here at the city. We want to recognize the city for that. So part of the award moving forward, we have 3 qualifiers, one of which is located within Spire's service territory, one that they utilize the Alabama One Call and adhere to statutes, and then, of course, we have no at-fault damages. So for that, I'd like to present this award to the mayor and to the council and to members of the Public Works Department. And we certainly appreciate everything you guys do in the initiative of safety. And to read the award, keeping our communities safe together, Spire is proud to award the City of Montgomery Traffic Engineering and Sign Division specifically with this Silver Shovel Award.
Just 2 more quick items. Thanks again to our team for everything that they do in Public Works. We want to thank them for the leadership. Wesley Cox, who is the president of the state body, we want to thank you as well as those that are assisting at all levels to help us achieve this. Next, I want to move on to our Smart 50. We were a Smart 50 Awards recipient, and it will be officially presented in October, but it comes from our partnership with Roadbotics, in which we use artificial intelligence and machine learning and algorithms to make smarter, data-driven decisions in our paving plans. And as all of you make us aware of, those important to your constituents and all the residents here in Montgomery, they have smooth roads. This technology has helped us assess more than 40% of Montgomery's 1,100-mile road network in record time. And we believe that everyone deserves good roads, and that's why the city is committed to using the latest in civic technologies to benefit those residents and to save all of our vehicles, not only to be safer, but also to be more efficient in our roads. And so we want to save those resources and make smart decisions about public assets, and things along investments like this really help us out. They go unseen, they go unheard, but it's good when the work is rewarded. So I want to thank everyone that's been involved with that as well. Finally, the city will celebrate Pride Month. Today is June the 1st, and part of our plan in really bringing about not just a new environment, but just a new Montgomery means creating a more inclusive and safer cities for members of our LGBTQ plus community. In coming days, we'll announce a plan in conjunction with our partners to ensure that our city is actively engaged with groups like the Human Rights Campaign and others to adopt ordinances and measures that will make Montgomery a more inclusive city. We'll also light up Court Square Fountain and other facilities in solidarity with our LGBTQ community. So that will conclude my message for this evening. Mr. President, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pro Tem, I would like to make a motion to amend the entertainment district ordinance and move the date from August 1st to July 1st.
Okay.
The first motion has to be a motion to reconsider.
I would like to make a motion to reconsider.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Ms.
Now we
McGinnis.
need a motion to adopt, then a motion to amend.
Okay. I would like a motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Now, we don't vote on that now. We just got the motion on the floor.
Okay, motion.
Now we make the motion to amend.
Okay.
You want me to read what those changes are?
Yes, please.
In
Ms. Brenda.
section 5, they're adding the language, a cup with the establishment's name or logo, a green wristband, or a hand stamp with establishment's name or logo material. And also section 7, changing the effective date from August the 1st to July the 1st.
Yes, ma'am. So a motion to adopt.
To amend.
A motion to amend. Thank you.
Okay. All in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right. A motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. The ordinance is readopted as amended.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Right now, we have the Leadership Montgomery to present an award to Mrs. Cheryl Bollinger. Please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Cheryl Johnson, President of Leadership Montgomery, and joining me today are two founders of Leadership Montgomery, Lanny Kane and George Goodwin. We also have members of the Leadership Montgomery Board that are joining us today. Leadership Montgomery is a nonprofit that's been making a difference in Montgomery for over 37 years. Our young professionals and community leaders and individuals want to make our city even better. Together, we connect leaders to affect change as we learn, discuss issues in Montgomery, ask questions, and seek solutions to serve our community. Legacy Class 37 graduated May 6th, but due to COVID restrictions, we could not have our award ceremony there, so we appreciate the opportunity to do it today at City Council. The purpose of the Leadership Legacy Award is in honor of a Leadership Montgomery member that serves our community with exceptional values, specifically vision, the talent and articulate a dream and direction of other people to share and follow. Innovation, the ability to be creative and think outside of a box, particularly this year when there was no box. Courage, the strength to challenge the status quo for betterment of the lives of others. And inspiration, the power to implement vision through others. Leadership Montgomery presents the Leadership Legacy Award posthumously to Richard Bollinger, to Richard's wife of 28 years, Cheryl Bollinger, in honor of Richard. his family to come join us for a photo and the Leadership Montgomery Board, please.
Straight down there from the top. Kim? Sure. Thank you.
Mr. President, before we move on, let me just say, that was a perfect award to give from Leadership Montgomery, and I do believe that Class 37 is the best class ever.
All right, thank you, Ms. Graham. Any special committees to report? No committees? All right. Madam Clerk, item 1.
Mr. President Pro Tem, item 1, ordinance amending Chapter 12 to provide for abatement of abandoned and or obsolete signs.
Okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
This is old business. This is one
It's a
that
carry.
Okay. All right.
carry this one over.
Yeah, we're carrying that one over, item number 1. We're carrying that one over. We're waiting on legal to get the documentation that we need to go ahead and make that obsolete signs available for the city. Thank you.
Item 2, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property located at 4190 Casada Ferry Road from an R50 district to an R99 SQ district.
Mr. Tyson?
Yes, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended the approval of this rezoning.
Okay. We already had the public hearing, so we just need a motion to
No,
adopt.
no, sir, this is the public.
It's public hearing, okay. This is a public hearing on item number 2. Anyone like to speak in favor or opposition of item number 2, please come forward.
And is there anyone present on the phone?
Is anyone present on the phone? Okay. Seeing none and hearing none, it's proper before the council. Need a motion for approval.
Mr. President, a motion for approval.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted.
Thank you.
Item 3, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property located at 901 South Hull Street from an O1 district to a B2Q district.
Mr. Tyson?
The Planning Commission again recommended the rezoning of this property for an office and an event center.
Okay. Any questions? This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor and opposition of item number 3, please come forward or on the phone. Okay, hearing none, seeing none, is proper before the council. Need a motion?
Mr. President, a motion for approval.
Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 4, ordinance amending ordinance number 1-2021, organizational chart of the city of Montgomery.
Okay, item number 4, we talked about that mirror. Basically what it's saying is organization chart that's moving the museum, the armory up under the
Cultural affairs.
cultural fairs. Any discussion? All right, need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Ordinance is adopted. Item 5, resolution de-annexing property located north of Jenkins Lane and establishing new District 8 boundary lines.
Okay. With the representatives for the Jenkins Lane, established in the district. Please come forward. Go ahead, sir. Your name for the record.
We were in the county, and we don't know how this got annexed into whatever, but there's no way to get into that property. It's just back behind our property right now. There's no roads, there's nothing.
We're property owners, and we have 6 acres. Our first 3 acres are in Montgomery County, and we just found out the latter 3 acres behind us to our property is in the city. And what we're trying to do is de-annex it, so our total 6 acres will be in the county.
Okay.
In Montgomery County.
Let me get your name for the record, please. Your names for the record.
Robert Staub, Cynthia Staub.
Okay. Got it. From
And that whole 6 acres, that 3 acres is, there's no roads that lead to it. It's strictly, non-access. So if there was a fire on that 3 acres in the city, there's no way the city, could respond to that area. There's no roads leading to that. It's a completely isolated area.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is make our 6 acres in Montgomery County instead of half in the county where our house is and the other half in the city. We're just trying to make it all one property in the county.
Okay.
And it has, someone talked about Pike Road. We have nothing to do with Pike Road in Montgomery County.
All right,
Mr. Calhoun.
Mr. Pruitt.
As you and I talked on the phone, and I see exactly what you guys are talking about, this is going to be something I'm going to have to carry over, as I explained.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
As you and I spoke on the phone, this is going to be something I'm going to have to carry over. I'm going to get with the mayor's office. I know there are some discussions going on right now. As you and I spoke, this council made a decision to stop de-annexing everything out east, and this is considered out east. While some of your property's in the county, some of it's also in the city. So until I get a resolution from the mayor's office on how we need to proceed with this, I can't de-annex it right now. But what I can do is carry it over indefinitely, and if we can get some resolution on it, I can bring it back up without you having to jump through all the hoops to get here today.
What was that?
You can get it back.
Does that make sense?
Into the county. Is that what
Did
you're
y'all
saying?
understand that?
Is that what you're saying? You can get it back into the county?
Is Tommy still here? Is anybody from planning still here?
Mr. Smith.
Hey, Mr. Calhoun.
Yes, sir.
Well, we've got to, can we move this item down the agenda and I can go outside and talk to them, make sure they understand what I'm talking about?
All right, we'll take it up at the end, Mr. Pruitt.
Can y'all give me 10 minutes and we can go out in the foyer and talk? Sure. And then make sure you guys understand, and then we'll come back in. Sure. Just give me 10 minutes and let me get through these, and we'll go out there before our council meeting's over. We'll come back in. Okay.
All right.
Item 6, resolution adopting and authorizing Mayor Reed to make an application with HUD and for $1.7 million in CDBG funds and $907,000 in Home Investment Partnership Act funds.
Okay. What you got?
You guys got our, good afternoon, council. The blue table for distribution of CDBG and home funds. The city will not receive ESG funds, our Emergency Solutions Grant funds this year, due to the abundance of funds that we received under the CARES Act. So we're just taking into consideration the CDBG and home programs for 2021.
Okay. Any council member have a question? Any questions?
I do.
Go
I
ahead.
do this homeowner emergency rehab. That looks good. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all kindly for that.
Okay. That's
Motion
it?
to
Any other
suspend-
questions? Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Item 7, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license doing business as Aqua Ultra Lounge, 5804 Atlanta Highway.
Need a representative from Aqua Ultra Lounge, please come forward.
Hello.
All right, this is a public hearing. Your name for the record, sir?
Eduardo Brown. Eduardo Brown.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor and opposition of this item number 7, please come forward or on the phone. Chief Reeves?
Yes, sir. So, council, like I stated earlier this evening, this is a completely different owner than who owned the Ciroc Club before. We discussed some security concerns that we had along with the illegal substances that were utilized when the business was in operation earlier. I think we developed a pretty good game plan. He agrees to comply with our recommendations, and we're going to try and keep an open dialogue to where if we have any issues, we can try and correct them on the front end versus on the back end.
Okay. Any questions of the council?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr.
How many off-duty police officers are y'all looking at hiring for the parking lot?
I plan on doing 3. I'm gonna do 1 immediately when you turn in. It's gonna be on the right-hand side to, watch the front door. Another one I'm gonna put, are you familiar with where the Worth Cleaners is?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I've spoken with the owner of the old Fun Zone parking lot, and she is going to allow me to rent her parking lot as needed.
Do you have a contract from her yet on renting that parking lot?
No, we've been in communication through phone.
Okay.
And she's going to allow me to use the parking lot as long as I return it as I found it. I'm going to have a cleanup crew, which is going to, once the evening is over, to go and clear it out, clean it up. I'm going to have an off-duty police officer sitting by the Worth Cleaners, just kind of watching that area, watching the cars, watching the patrons walking to and from. And another one, I'm the UPS guy on that route, on that portion of the Atlanta Highway. I've spoken with a lot of the business owners which are near the building. They've told me their concerns, and Mr. Gandhi, which owns the gas station, he operates 24-hour pumps, and he used to have people gather there, and he doesn't want anybody on his property. And I'm going to put another police officer right by the ice machine to watch the Cadence Bank. I also spoke with the vice president of the Cadence Bank. She had problems. And I'm going to have a sheriff on that side to keep a police officer.
So you're hiring a sheriff's officer too?
I was planning,
three city and 1 sheriff?
I was going to do either a mixture of both or all 3 of one.
So they're also going to hire 10 security for the inside is what he was discussing.
Right.
And the other part of that was we asked to have contact with the Fun Zone owner so that we can be assured that she is on board with them, allowing them to rent the space before we just say.
And she was on board with it when y'all talked?
I haven't gotten a chance to speak with her yet. That is something that we're trying to work out.
Because that was a huge issue, I know. For them.
Right.
Mr. Jenright's not here, the parking, they were parking
Going into
on
this
that
venture.
road, they were parking in CVS, they were parking,
Right.
Everywhere.
Well, the Walgreens
Yeah,
across the street, right.
It's a Walgreens, yeah.
Going into this, safety was a concern, and the parking because of the location of the actual building. So I did start to, develop a relationship with her. We talked on the phone several times, and she is very much so for it as long as it is kept as is. As long as it's cleaned after, she will allow me to use it. She did tell me that the previous owner just allowed people to park there without her permission. I asked for her permission versus just doing it.
Right.
I thought that was the right thing to do. And no, she did say I could use it, I could rent it.
DJ, are you a part of this? Okay. Okay.
All right, any other questions from the council? Ms. Mitchell? Clay? Ms. Reed? I declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper before the council.
Mr. Calhoun.
Mr. Pruitt?
I think since this is in Councilman Jenwright's district, I didn't ask him, and I don't think anybody on this council asked him, but I think Mr. Jenwright needs to be a part of this conversation.
Okay, we'll carry it over.
We'll carry it over for 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
That'll give us an opportunity to reach out to the owner of the lot as well, just to make sure that we got that squared away.
Well, Chief, and that's a big thing. If they're not allowed to park in that, if they're not allowed to park in fun zone, I mean, this is a moot point. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know how many parking spots you got, but it ain't more than 20 in that, in that little place right there.
Right.
So if they can't
And this
park
was
there,
a
it's moot
discussion
point.
that we had today, that, ultimately they are responsible for their clientele that comes there. And that was one of the biggest issues we had, was where everybody was parking, safety concerns and stuff. And so, as long as he's willing to try and do things the right way where we don't have those issues, I think it'll be okay.
Well, I think Fun Zone holds their license in their hand, really. If they can't park there, where are they gonna park? Cleaners, Walgreens?
No,
gas
Walgreens,
station?
we're not going, I know Walgreens had a problem with the previous owner. We're going to stay away from the Walgreens.
Yeah, I'm saying that if the Fun Zone people don't say yes, then you guys.
Oh, no,
gotta-
she's very much so on board.
Okay.
She wanted to give me some kitchen equipment, to operate. She was like, yeah, we need a different type of person in that building, is what she told me. And she's very much so on board, she's very much so 100% on board. Very much so.
Mr. Brown, I have a question. How many parking spaces do you have at this facility?
Directly in the parking lot, there's about 25 parking spaces going around the building all the way to the side. It's about 25 spots.
And what's the capacity of the lounge?
The capacity is going to be 404. That's what the previous capacity was given. Not much is different on the inside structurally or anything like that. The capacity was 404. The previous week, I spoke with the manager at KFC, which is directly behind my building, and she also gave me permission to use their parking lot as long as it was cleaned and as long as cars came after 10 o'clock when they were closed. They have another 20 or so spaces. Then from there, we were gonna, divert traffic and send them to the Fun Zone parking lot and our adjacent parking lot as well. Everybody is okay with it that I've spoken to. The gas station and the Cadence Bank, they want nobody there. On the other side, everybody is okay with it, and they're willing, to work with me. I know them all personally. I see them on a daily basis. All of them have my personal number. If they have any problems, I tell them, listen, I'm the one that's accountable for this. You all reach out directly to me. You're not going to have a problem. I take this venture seriously, and, I'm serious about it. The parking, the Fun Zone lady, she's 100% on board. Like, I've spoken to her several times. She was happy to have someone new in the building. She's 100% on board.
So when it comes to liability, just for a backup, are they willing to go into contract with you to state that? So that way you are backed up and they are too?
Do you mean like break-ins?
As far as using their parking lots?
I would think I'm liable since I'm actually having the people park there. As far as break-ins, I don't even know.
So that, I'll make
Yeah,
sure to discuss that with her when I speak to her in regards to what her, what liability she's willing to take. Yeah, I'll see what liability she's willing to accept doing that.
I was also trying to limit the liability by putting a sheriff there, kind of, going back and forth to limit it from a safety standpoint and watching the customers' vehicles as well. That's why I was putting a sheriff specifically there, 100 feet away from another one by the front door, to watch the customers' cars. I've heard of cars being broken in that area over there. If I bring people out, I don't want anyone hurt, and I don't want people's property, vandalized or broken in. I'm bringing them there. It's my responsibility. That's what the sheriff is for, between the Worth and that parking lot, kind of going back and forth.
Okay. Mr. Brown, this item is going to be carried over for 2 weeks. Councilor Jim Wright is in his district. We would like to discuss that with him to figure out where he's at. One of the big issues that I can see, we're not here to deny your business, but when you got 25 parking spaces and you're saying a capacity of 400 people, so that's gonna be a big problem.
Right.
So, yeah, we work out the details with the chief, and we'll bring back before us on our second meeting here in June.
Okay.
Okay.
You said the second meeting in June,
Yes,
2
sir.
weeks from now, basically.
2 weeks from now.
June
Gotcha.
fif-
Thank you.
June the 15th.
All right, June 15th.
June 15th.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Item 8, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package license doing business as On Time, 3403 Norman Bridge Road.
Okay. Owners for On Time Package Store, please come forward. Your name for the record, sir?
Marcus McQueen.
Say that-
Marcus McQueen.
Marcus McQueen. Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor and in opposition of this item, please come forward or over the phone. Okay, declare the public hearing has been held. Proper for the council. Mr. McGinnis.
Yes, Mr. Pro Tem, Mr. McQueen, thank you for your application. I've received a few calls asking for some clarity on this issue, and I'd like to get with you and some of the other business owners around that intersection, and if we could carry this over until the 15th, June 15th.
Okay.
We'll
You say
have-
the other business owners in the area?
I've some residences and an opportunity to get with some of the business owners. I did receive some calls on Edgemont, some homes near there, right there at the intersection. So I'd just like to carry it over 2 weeks.
Can't do nothing but wait on it.
Yeah. So I'll get with you and get your contact information, and I'll talk to you and reach out to the business owners around them.
Okay.
All right.
Most of the business, not just being
Sure.
curious, I own the other business as well, and actually the people across the street, the store, they probably will be here on the next week. I think they'll apply for something as well.
Absolutely, that's good.
But I think we got like some kind of guidance we got to fall on, and so many feet within.
Sure. Yes.
So if both of us here, so how would that work?
I don't know. That's why I'd like to investigate this
Right. 'Cause
more
actually, if I
so that we have
came
more
first,
time.
I don't want to be the,
Yeah.
I want to be the first guy there. So
No, I
you just
understand.
got to make it make sense,
There-
though.
There's a handful of things that you and I need to talk about, and we need to kind of unpack, and that's why we need 2 more weeks to look at this
Gotcha.
issue. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right,
I appreciate it.
all right, thank you, sir.
Item 9, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package license doing business as Busy Ant 2, 7620 Mobile Highway, Hopewell.
All right, representative for Busy Ants, please come forward.
Pull them. Give us your name. Give us your name.
Patel, Amitabh Patel.
Did you come down one time before about your building? Someone else was trying to get a license in your building?
Yeah, we did a reapplication.
Okay, so you got it all straightened out
Yeah,
now?
it's everything straight now.
Okay, sound good.
All right. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor and opposition to this item, please come forward.
Anyone on the phone?
Is anyone on the phone for item number 9? Okay, I declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Ms. Graham?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rule. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, ma'am.
Item 10, application for a retail beer and retail table wine off premises only doing business as Busy Ant 2 at 7624 Mobile Highway.
Okay. These are the same owners. I declare this a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor and opposition to this item, please come forward or on the phone. Seeing and hearing none, I declare the public hearing is over. It's proper before the council. Ms. Graham?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right. Good luck with your business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 11, application for a business license and application for a special retail more than 30 days liquor license doing business as Empire Event Center at 2416 East South Boulevard.
Okay. Representative for the Empire, please come forward. Your name for the record, please.
Evening, Council. My name is Preston. I'm attorney for Empire Entertainment, LLC, and this is one of the owners, Arthur Stokes.
Okay, Mr. Stokes. Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak in opposition or in favor of this item, please come forward.
Anyone on the phone?
Anyone on the phone would like to speak on item number 11? I have someone on this list for item number 11. Anyone sign up for item number 11? I can't read your name. Okay, go ahead, Chief. Chief Reed.
Yes, sir. So we've met with the owners of Club Empire to go over some logistic issues that we had when they were open before. Some of the terms that they advise that they're going to do is that they will have 22 security guards on the inside of the building. There will be parking lot control. They're going to hire 4 off duty. They plan to put a permanent metal detector at the front door, as well as not allowing any illegal substances within the business. There will be no backdoor entry to the business like we had before, and they will also make sure that there are no patrons waiting to get on the inside. Once they meet their capacity, they will make sure that the parking lot is cleared and nobody is standing outside trying to get in. These are some of the topics that we discussed. I believe that Mr. Preston brought forward that they may be going completely smoke-free so that there is no ability to have any illegal substance in there, but I will let them talk on that.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell, I have a question, and I just heard Chief Reeves, and I know we didn't have this item before us, before Mr. Stokes. Anything other than what she's saying that you plan on doing different? It's still gonna be an entertainment center.
Well, yes, sir, we're gonna be the entertainment center, but just like before, we was hosting several different events outside of party events. Like we also do baby showers and waits and repasses and all that stuff. We took place in our facility as well, okay. Other than just the, evening things. So.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell.
Question for you. I know you said a full metal detector. When do you guys plan on having that metal detector, and how far along are you for us getting those metal detectors?
We've already been, putting our research in on getting one, guys come out and install. So before we open up, we plan to already, to have one before we actually open the doors. We got some things that we trying to get right there first, when it comes down to the safety of the patrons and things like that before we even open the doors.
And so I would like to point out that, obviously we had some situations with the club before where we were met with a lot of aggression when we were trying to shut them down. They have agreed that if we advise them that they need to shut down for whatever reason, that we will not have an issue getting that accomplished. We also are going to look at the parking lot. I think they have a little over 700 parking spaces within that parking lot. Their capacity is almost 1,000. We're going to take measures to make sure that we keep it moving the way it needs to, and also let them know when they're going to have to shut it down in regards to allowing patrons in the business. They've agreed that they will abide by what our recommendations are.
All right. What's the capacity of your building?
925.
Oh, 925. Wow. And did you say 5 off-duty police officers? 4?
4 to 5.
4 to 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I know we haven't quite brought it up yet, Glenn, about the price.
We're gonna do it at the end.
Okay. You may want to stick around so you can hear that.
They already pretty much
told you about that.
I was here earlier, $55.
Okay.
Small change.
I heard.
All right. Mr. Mitchell.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, I declare the public hearing is open. It's proper for the council. Mr. Mitchell.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business. Help us keep you in business, so do the right thing.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Item 12, resolution appointing Melissa Bailey to the Montgomery Historic Preservation Commission.
Item number 12.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor? please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is
Can I
adopted.
get, yeah, go ahead, Clay.
Can I move to suspend the rules for the rest of the agenda?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Wait just a minute, I gotta read number 13.
Sorry.
Item 13, resolution appointing Regina Colley to the Board of Adjustment. Now,
I'd like to move to suspend the rules for the rest of the agenda.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
unanimous? Just one second. Okay.
Ms. Johnson, you had the floor.
Move
We
to
need the
adopt.
motion to adopt
Yes.
number 13.
Okay. Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 14, resolution reappointing Stacia Robinson to the Industrial Development Board.
Ms. Johnson,
Okay. Move to adopt.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 15, resolution appointing Leslie Stone to the Planning Commission.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 16, resolution appointing Phyllis Harvey Hall to the Board of Trustees, Montgomery City
I
County.
might want to
Public
hold that one
Library.
up. Go ahead.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 17, resolution appointing Johnny Sankey to the Montgomery Clean City Commission.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 18, resolution appointing Willie Douglas to the Montgomery Clean City Commission.
Move to adopt.
No, definitely want to hold that one up. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 19, resolution appointing Kadida Stone to the Parks and Recreation Board.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 20, resolution appointing Lucida Pedway to the Electrical Board of Adjustment and Appeals.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 21, resolution appointing America Blair to the Community Action Committee.
America. Move to adopt.
America, okay.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 22, resolution appointing Michelle Browder to the Montgomery Historic Preservation Commission.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 23, resolution appointing Aisha Brooks to the Housing Authority.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 24, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed locations.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 25, resolution designating nuisance abatement agents.
Need a
Move
motion?
to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 26, resolution assessing the cost of abatement of unsafe structures on various lots.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 21, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Mr. Calhoun,
Ms. Pruitt.
I like the way you're thinking. Hey, can we go back and revisit number 5? I told them, Mayor, I told them we would table it indefinitely. Robert came out. Their circumstances are different, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and, we do what we're supposed to do the right way. So can we revisit that, Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Pruitt.
I don't need to make a motion to revisit the Madam Clerk.
No, because you would just
All right,
delay
on
it.
item number 5, I just want to make a motion that we table it indefinitely.
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Ms. Pruitt. You got something else, Ms. Pruitt?
I do, I got one more. And this may be the time that we just want to ask Chief Finley and Chief Reeves to maybe have a conversation with us about the resolution that is fixed to be before the council tonight and what we need to do with it. So, Madam Clerk, can we read that resolution?
Resolution authorizing $55 per hour for off-duty police officers working clubs and lounges.
Chief, can we have a conversation, Chief Finley, Chief Reeves, about this? You know, in doing so, Mr. Calhoun and Mayor, you know, we had 2 clubs that we have had massive issues at in the past. You know, we had, I think one club was 404, and what was the occupancy on Empire?
980.
No, yeah.
How much?
980.
So we're 1,400 that we're doing, or possibly going to do. And I just think, Chief, and I know we've had the conversations about it, I think we're at a point with all these clubs coming back, we've got to pay y'all what you're worth in these parking lots. I mean, I heard that gentleman tonight talk about 3 officers for 404 people. It's mind-boggling to me when we know we've had the problems. But how can we make this happen sooner rather than later for our people?
Well, I think that amount that you put out will definitely incentivize these officers to work it. And the challenge that we do have, if they don't volunteer to work it, we're going to make it happen. It's absolutely a concern on Friday and Saturday night if we are running call to call and we have issues and concerns at any of the clubs. We're going to make sure that we do our due diligence to have officers out there to deal with the parking lot and concerns that come up.
And Chief, I guess that's where, and listen, I ain't a police officer, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. Okay.
You studied
It should be solely, and I hate that I missed Empire, it should be solely on the club's responsibility. And, you know, you guys made the officers come back to the clubs, which I thought was a good thing. You know, off duty. And if they're not willing to pay, or we're not willing to have men and women step up and do it, then they ain't open. That's one man's opinion. It shouldn't be our responsibility when we're out patrolling the clubs when they could be in our neighborhoods. And that's the biggest issue I've got with this thing, with these clubs.
And I agree with you, and I think that the club owners, the ones that I think I went to the last meeting with Aronde Mitchell, and they're all positive. So I think that if this is what it takes for these club owners to be successful and to bring good business to the city, I think that this is the way we have to go. And then we can keep the officers on other calls in these communities. So if you guys can push that, and I think that we will get the cooperation from Aronde and the other, and Ms. Graham is there as well, to work with the club owners to make that happen, I think it'll be a win-win for everybody.
And Mayor, I think that comes from administrative. If we, and the resolution is about what the paper that it's written on. You know that. And we can pass it tonight, and I'm gonna ask that we pass it tonight. But I think that from Chief and your standpoint, if these clubs do not want to pay, they're not open. I mean, we just had a club recently, and I'm not gonna name any names, that came up with a large sum of money that they owed the city of Montgomery in back taxes. And it was a miracle. I mean, these clubs are making money, and to put our men and women in harm's way on a club when you can sit in the Winn-Dixie parking lot for $30, it ain't the same. And I'm gonna ask for the resolution, and we can vote on it tonight. We can carry it over, do whatever we want to do. But I'm gonna ask that you guys push this. I think this is huge for not only for those men and women that have reservations about working the job, but also the city, that we can get these all on duty back in our neighborhoods.
Okay.
I think it's big.
Hey, Chief, I got a question. Are we billing these establishments, the club? Do we bill them, or do they pay cash?
They pay cash.
They pay cash. So, I mean, it's a resolution, so if you go out, it's $55 an hour instead of $30 if we work in a club. That's simple.
Chief, one question. What is the administration, what are we charging the administration fee?
Well, right now, the administration fee is $250. In January of 2022, we'll go up to $1,000, I believe.
Okay. That's once a year, right?
Yes, ma'am. Calendar year.
Chief, do we have the ability to make this happen, like before then?
Yeah, with 5 votes, we make it happen.
But a resolution, though. I mean, it can't be an ordinance.
Yeah, that's up to you, but we will do our policy to make sure that we in line with legal.
Okay.
Based on your guidance.
Stacy. So how long do
Well,
we have to notify them, or what?
we cannot mandate, because it's off-duty employment, we can't mandate, the council can't mandate what the charge will be. PD can set policy because they oversee the off-duty employment. I will say, like the fire department, they are able to set fees in the ordinance about off-duty jobs, but they're not really off-duty jobs. The fire department assigns overtime details for fire watches, certain inspections. So fire department personnel can go out and do these jobs, but we pay them to do it, and then the business reimburses the city. So by that, we can govern that by ordinance. This, we would basically be asking the police department to set a policy governing off-duty employment, to change their policy so that the hourly rates coincide with what you're recommending in the resolution. So as soon as the police department changes its policy and pushes it out, then it can be implemented.
So, and I don't think, Chief, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody on this council has an issue with this resolution that is before them today.
We have a policy guy that works closely with legal. We can get the policy from the fire department, make sure that we mirror that to make it work for this.
That's awesome. Well, see, Councilman Calhoun, then I'd like to go ahead and make a motion. We had moved to suspend rules on this resolution, please.
Mr. Pruitt, go ahead.
Move to suspend rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Pruitt.
Chief. Thank you, Chief Reeves.
All right.
Mrs. Graham has a resolution appointing Sabrina Vaughn Griggs to the Montgomery Clean City Commission.
Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. And council, I do have one set of contingency funds that we need the mayor's approval on. This is for District 3, $1,000 to Macoa, $500 to Sheridan Heights Neighborhood Association, $500 to Highland Park Neighborhood Association. Mayor, these are all vendors.
Ms. Blaylock? President, I have
Mr. Mitchell.
Positive parents have power, $1,500. And the Mercy House.
Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
Positive parents have power. Okay, and the next one?
Mercy House, $500.
Okay.
Ms. Blaylock.
Yes, sir.
I would like to add $1,500 for McCoy.
Okay. Anybody else?
Motion.
Mr. Calhoun.
Yes, sir.
Move to adopt.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Pruitt.
Yes, sir.
Anything else from the council? Ms. Blaylock.
One other thing for the mayor.
Go ahead, Ms. Mitchell.
Mayor, on our summer program, how are our numbers look for us getting our students, or are we, hitting our target? What do we need to do for us making sure that those community centers are full for the summer?
In terms of those that are working, or those
The
that
program that remember when Ms. Sykes came up here and talked about the program that we were doing for the summer for those?
my last conversation, we were above.
Okay.
So there's a lot of interest. Just talked to Dr. Moore this morning even about MPS. Has almost 15,000 students registered for their program as well. So the parents are taking advantage, as well as, I think it's going to be the real one is going to be the students that are going to hopefully mitigate some of the learning loss they would have otherwise over the summer.
And what about filling those positions that we put out for the summer?
We got a waiting list for those. So we're doing great. From a lot of the young people have signed up, and we've got great demand for that.
And also, Mayor, I saw that Alabama State has utilized their stadium to do concerts. I just want to see where were we for us utilizing Crampton Bowl to do similar things for us bringing, big concerts to a venue like Crampton Bowl.
hadn't thought about Crampton Bowl. You know, a lot of effort and energy has been on the amphitheater. The Biscuits Stadium has been used for that. Have not talked about Crampton Bowl, but it's something worth considering going forward. If you got some connects to some folks who want to come,
Yes,
let
sir.
us know.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll make it work.
All right. Ms. Johnson?
Yeah, Mr. President, I just wanted to make a mention that in light of the crime that's been happening in District 3, myself and thankful for Father Manuel for opening up Resurrections Auditorium, will be having a town hall tomorrow at 5:30 for the Sheridan Heights, Brookview, and Park Manor community to address the crime that's happening, the environment, and the health of that community. And this is something that will be ongoing in addition to the citywide day of prayer that we have. And it's just responding to this crime to let the community know that we care and we are trying our best at our level to address these issues. And so that's where we'll begin. Myself, Father Manuel, County Commissioner, Isaiah Sankey, the mayor, and the chief of police will be there. And we'll just have some time to talk with the community and to address some of these issues and see how we can bring up some solutions. And also, don't forget about the Montgomery Citywide Day of Prayer that's happening on June 6th. Join us and all the communities of faith to pray against crime in our city. So these are just some of the mechanisms that we're using to address the crime in the city of Montgomery. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Ms. Mitchell? I'm done. All right, Madam Clerk, we would like to recess this meeting till June the 8th. Stacy?
To take up the issue of legal representation for some municipal employees.
What time, Councilman?
June the 8th at what time?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock works? 4 o'clock.
We have a 5:30 meeting that afternoon? What meeting? Huh? Do they have a big agenda?
Hey, we won't take no more than about 15 minutes.
Yes. I think so. I was trying to see how big of an agenda they had. We might could get them moved into the old council chamber.
Okay.
But if you think we'll be through by the time.
Yeah, we
need
should
to
be
set
through.
up-
Yeah, we should be through.
Just that one item?
Just that one item. All right.
Okay.
We stand in recess. Thank you.
Thank you.